It is the whale as an idea that trembles our world and our worldviews, and it is there, in the realm of human curiosity, that the two are inextricably entwined. And that has never been so apparent for me as it was among the blue whales of Chile's scary array. 8 years ago, no one knew these blue whales were here. Although, as shown in the map of all 20th century blue whale catches, the Chilean coast was once a prime blue whale hunting ground. Because of their size, blue whales everywhere were hunted more thoroughly than any other species. It was all about the economy of scale. The Antarctic blue whales were hit particularly hard. In 1905, the year before commercial whaling began in the Antarctic, there were about 256,000 blue whales down there. When the hunting of blue whales was finally outlawed in 1965, there were fewer than 360 individuals left. That is less than 0.1% of their original abundance. If we used our subject as a scale for illustrating this loss, it would be like starting out with a blue whale and ending up with a single comb of its baleen. Miraculously, since the end of the whale holocaust, the blues have been making a slow but steady recovery. There are now about 3,000 swimming around Antarctica today, but that is still less than 1/100th of their original population size. Using our trusty blue whale scale, we can see that that's only the last foot of the blue whale's flukes, better than a chunk of baleen. So until 8 years ago, it was thought that the Chilean stock had been hunted to extinction. But in the summer of 2003, a Chilean PhD student named Rodrigo Uque Gaite scraped together the funding to rent out a helicopter and a boat for a week-long whale survey of the fjord-enclosed Gulf of Corcovado. Later that year, he published a paper in the Royal Society's journal announcing the rediscovery of the most important blue whale feeding and nursery ground in the Southern Hemisphere. He is now a professor of Universidad Austral de Chile, or the University of the South Chile, and the director of Centro Ballena Azul, the Blue Whale Center. Every austral summer, he brings a research team down to check in on his discovery, the Corcovado Blues. We were based in the only settlement in the fjord system, near the northern tip of the mitten, in a town called Malinka. Blue whales are not the only cetaceans found in this area. It turns out these fjords are home to one of the most diverse and densest group of whales and dolphins in the hemisphere. But as its name suggests, Centro Ballena Azul is focused on the big ones. We had 3 main research priorities. Number 1, population structure of the Corcovado blues. Number 2, blue whale bioacoustics. And number 3, blue whale feeding ecology. For population structure, land-based surveys were done from a 300-foot-high hill lookout near the water. There never was a day on the hill that we did not spot a blue whale. One day we spotted 22. On average, we would see between 6 and 10. On a calm day, you could hear the whale's breath as far as 3 miles away. Contrary to their name, blue whales aren't that blue. They are more of a mottled gray. Every individual has a unique mottled pattern. Like the orca's dorsal or the humpback's fluke, the blue whale's freckles is the key to identifying individual whales. For biopsies, using a biopsy gun, we would try to take small samples of blue whale skin and blubber. With these strata of blue whale tissue, again, the geology of whales, we could take toxicity measurements and sex the animal. Isotopes in the blubber may also serve as clues as to the ocean environments these whales retreat to in the winter, because we still don't know where these whales go half the year. The next research priority, bioacoustics. Blue whale calls are one of the loudest, deepest, and farthest carrying sounds made by any animal. They can communicate with each other from over 1,000 miles away. We don't really know why the blue whale sings, or even how they produce their sounds, but studying their song has become essential to understanding them. This is because we figured out, only about 5 years ago, that each distinct blue whale population around the world has a unique song. There are 9 different types of blue whale song in the world's oceans, and they correspond to 9 different, distinct breeding populations. With their song, we can monitor and study blue whales all over the world in a non-invasive and relatively cost-effective way. Onto its song structure. To describe blue whale song in human terms, it consists of a single verse or phrase that is repeated over and over again. The melodies of these verses are constructed using any combination of only 5 notes, or song units. These units are symbolized as A, B, C, D, or E. For instance, the blue whales living off California's coast belong to song type 1. This is the tablature for their song. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, 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 A, B, 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 and repeat. The tab for the Chilean blue whales, song type 2, is ABC, ABC. The phrase takes about 37 seconds to complete. This song was discovered and described in 1971, first recorded among the Corcovado blues. So these two songs are made of only 2 or 3 chords. There's the A chords, the B chords, and for the Chilean blue whales, the C chords. That's it. Repeated again and again, sometimes for hours or even days, and they only pause to breathe. These rhythmic, basic songs seem specifically designed for long-distance travel. Blue whale songs are thought to remain stable, distinct, and unchanged over the course of decades, perhaps even centuries. This is why we think we can use them to deduce population geographies. But some recent research from Centro Azul may have uncovered some big problems with this picture. Here's the situation. All blue whale calls are assumed to occur strictly at very low frequencies, usually between 16 and 100 Hz. So many hydrophone stations, especially the older ones, were designed to record only at those low frequencies. This allows for a recording with less background hiss and a more manageable file size, allowing for more hours of recording. So, following this convention, the original Corcovado track, Type 2, was only analyzed up to 200 Hz, as you can see from the spectrograph in the 1971 paper, just 200 Hz. Since 2008, Suzanna, the acoustician with Centro Azul, has been recording the Corcovado song, but she's been using a hydrophone with a much wider range. So we can compare the original 1971 spectrograph to Susie's recent recordings. There's part A, part B, and part C, just like in 1971, but with Susie's higher frequency range, look, she picked up a 4th call unit. Chirps that no one else has ever recorded, that clearly distinguish the Corcovado call from song type 2. Here, listen to what Susie has recorded. There's that beginning chirp. Song unit A is happening right now, but it's so low that we can't hear it. Here comes part B. It sounds like a helicopter coming into land. And here comes the second chirp. And then part C. So what's the deal? Are the Corcovado blues part of the Type 2 stock or not? What's going on? Were the blue whales chirping like that back in 1971 and we just weren't listening for it? Or is it that song Type 2 has changed since 1971? Is this the first recorded case of song evolution in blue whales? Perhaps other blue whale populations out there have similar high notes in their song, but we've never noticed because we've only been monitoring the lowest frequencies. Look, no spectrograph of any song type is taken higher than 160 Hz. The existence of hidden higher notes could throw off everything we thought we knew about blue whale songs around the world. Or is this just a newly discovered song type, the world's 10th blue whale population? Some researchers believe that Susie's new data justifies distinguishing the Corcovado blues not only as a new song type, but as a separate subspecies. However you slice it, it's a pretty big discovery. But we have to move on to the last topic, feeding ecology.